What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NFL DFS video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. We are here for the Thursday night showdown, the beginning of week 5. This NFL season has been a banger, especially week 4. We did not lose on a single thing and got multiple takedowns. So it was an amazing week 4. So looking to repeat that week 5. All right. So as you guys know, when I do these showdown videos, I just kind of break down what I'm expecting from the game in general, and we talk about plays that we're interested in with that game script in mind. So I believe in Vegas here. I think Washington controls this game for the most part. I think they win by a good margin, probably. Chicago puts up a valiant effort throwing the ball, and Justin Fields maybe doing a little more with his feet than he has been so far this year. With the pressure that Washington brings, he's probably going to take off a lot more. But to no avail. I think Washington wins by a solid margin against Chicago tonight. So with that being said, when it comes to captain, there's a few ways you can go. Yes, you can go Sam Howell at captain. He's 14-1. Justin Fields is 16-5. Terry McLaurin's 15-3. And Brian Robinson Jr. is 13-8. Now, with these prices in mind, it's a tough one. I really like Brian Robinson Jr. I talked about the game script, and yes, sure, you're going to have the other dude, I'm blanking on his name right now, get some run. What is his name? Antonio Gibson is going to get a few carries, but he's not going to. He doesn't butt into Brian Robinson's carries too much. Robinson plays a good bit of snaps. He's going to get all the red zone carries. He's going to get just a good amount of carries, especially in a game where Washington's in control all game. You're going to see a lot of Brian Robinson Jr., and Chicago sucks versus the run. So I'm really liking Brian Robinson Jr. at captain. Plus, he's 13-8 compared to if you go McLaurin, who, by the way, the script isn't positive for McLaurin. This is Washington's expected to be ahead most of the game. Sure, it could be due to Terry McLaurin, and McLaurin could get receptions still, but it isn't huge upside game script type of game unless Chicago ends up early and controlling the game itself most of the game. And he's 15-3, so he's almost 2K over. Justin Fields is 16-5. I could understand Justin Fields. Not only is he going to have to throw to catch up, but he's going to do a lot with his feet tonight, I would imagine, with Washington putting pressure on him. He's going to, leave that pocket often, I believe. I think he's going to take off a good bit tonight. And I completely understand the Justin Fields play. But again, 3,000 over Brian Robinson. Is Justin Fields worth $3,000 over Robinson? Robinson could realistically score 20 DraftKings points tonight, and Fields end up scoring the same. It's not like I'm worried too much about Fields scoring way more than Robinson. So I do like Robinson there, and then Sam Howell at 14-1. If I have to choose a captain as of right now in my mind, I'm going Brian Robinson or I'm going Sam Howell, and because of game script, Brian Robinson Jr. at captain. That's what we're going to roll with here. Then I feel like Justin Fields is a must. With his ability to get you a solid floor with his feet and his ability to even rush for 100 yards even at times, he has to be in. And in a one-game slate with his type of upside, he has to be in. So Brian Robinson as captain with the run-heavy script on the Washington side. Most likely they get up early, hopefully by a couple Brian Robinson Jr. touchdowns, and it's just all Brian Robinson from there. Justin Fields trying to catch up, doing a lot with his feet, throwing the ball a lot. That's why I like pairing him with his number one man, DJ Moore. Now, yes, you're spending a lot of money, but we have some value options, and we're going to talk about some value. But Brian Robinson at captain, then Justin Fields paired up with his main man, DJ Moore. DJ Moore has been getting a ton of fantasy points versus the zone this year. Washington has run more zone than others so far this year. So it's a good spot for DJ Moore to find those openings in the defense. Plus, Claypool out. You saw how well DJ Moore did. DJ Moore got a ton of targets. He is the guy for Justin Fields. And that connection working out last week, you got to expect them to go back heavily to it here. It's a solid matchup against Washington. Solid script playing from behind. Yes, you're having to spend money, but these are 3 of the guys that I think end up the highest scoring players on the slate, and I don't want to miss out on any of them. They all 3 make so much sense that I'm trying to figure out what I can do elsewhere to make that work. Now, because we have 3 studs in our lineup, let's look at point per salary and look at value because we're going to need some. First guy that's interesting to me is going to be Tanyan. I'm not going to lock him in, but I'm just going to talk about Tanyan as a value. Tanyan ran a route on 11% of routes last week. That's not a lot. But for a guy at 600 who's going to obviously run some routes, you've got no Chase Claypool. He saw an uptick in snaps. It's interesting here. Tanyan is a guy that I would not be surprised to see Fields target in the red zone. All of the attention's obviously going to be on DJ Moore and Komet. I would not be surprised to see Tanyan sneak one in. The second tight end here, maybe on like a double tight end set down in the red zone, and see Tanyan get in at 600. Another value, John Bates for Washington. He's another guy that's not going to go crazy. Neither of these guys are probably going to go crazy, but we don't need much out of them. John Bates is only 400. Tanyan's only 600. The reason I side with Tanyan slightly, even though point per salary John Bates is ahead, which I think either one is fine. But if I have that couple hundred, I prefer Tanyan probably just because of game script. Um, I'm expecting Chicago to be behind and throw a lot. Plus, Chicago's missing a red zone target in Claypool. So I expect other guys to have to step up down in the red zone, and that could be a big body guy like Tanyan. So I like Tanyan at 600. He's interesting. Cole Turner's an option at 800. We got some tight end value down there. Outside of that, you got the kicker for Washington. That's the main thing for me. Cairo Santos, sure you can go. I prefer the Washington kicker being up. They'll probably settle for some field goals a good bit. St. Brown is a guy that I really have interest in. He ran 53% of routes, I think it was. His route percent, 53% of pass plays he was running a route on last week. Obviously, no Claypool, only 1,800 in a pass-heavy script. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get involved here. So St. Brown's another value. So like I said, you got a couple guys in the hundreds. You've got a guy right here under 2K. So you have some value to make these things work. All right. With that being said, talking about the other positions that I have interest in, sure, I love Terry McLaurin still. The problem is it's tough. With the game script expected to be a lot of Robinson, especially if I have Robinson at captain, I'm not expecting them to have to throw a ton, so Terry McLaurin wouldn't make as much sense at 10-2. I definitely would love Sam Howell. I do really, really like Sam Howell today. He's only 9.4. He's almost 1,000 less than McLaurin, and Sam Howell, I mean, has the potential to spread it around multiple. Like if they throw a touchdown, he's going to get a point. Regardless, like with McLaurin, he's going to get those targets and stuff. But Sam Howell at least could get that touchdown by he could run it, he could throw it to many different options. Like so, Sam Howell is my preferred guy when it comes to between those two. But a little tidbit on McLaurin: Chicago runs one of the most heavy zone defenses in the entire league. All they pretty much run is zone defense, and McLaurin carves zone up. So I completely understand if you want to say, screw it, I'm going Terry McLaurin or something, that's fine. If you want to go Terry McLaurin instead of DJ Moore, whatever. I'm just talking game script and what I expect this game flow to be. I would kind of prefer DJ Moore in that type of script. All right. Khalil Herbert, he's going to get involvement in the pass game. Once Chicago gets in the red zone, he could get some red zone opportunities. Herbert's not horrible, but game script doesn't make me super excited on it. Curtis Samuel could get some run at only 5'6". You don't need a ton out of him. He's interesting, especially if that Chicago defense hones in on McLaurin. Jahan Dotson, sure. Cole Kmet, I mean, I'd prefer to just punt one of those cheap tight end guys that I talked about because Washington's been really good versus tight ends. They haven't given up much to any tight ends. Now, Komet is a highly targeted guy on the Chicago offense. No Claypool, so I still think he's going to get his, but his upside's capped a bit in this matchup. So I'd rather just punt it if I'm going to play a tight end. Rashawn Johnson is interesting, especially if the blowout happens. You're going to see a lot more Rashawn Johnson. He's been getting a lot of work in these games that have been blowout situations for Chicago. If Washington blows Chicago out, then I could see a lot of Rashawn Johnson. Plus, he gets involvement in the pass game as well. So at 4.8, he's interesting. He's been getting a good bit of red zone opportunities for Chicago. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him sneak in a touchdown. Logan Thomas, sure. Darnell Mooney, I definitely have interest in with that script, playing from behind. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mooney get his. St. Brown, love him. So that's about it, man. Brian Robinson's my captain. I think Washington controls this game. I think they control it a lot with the ground on Brian. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Robinson had 20 carries tonight for 90-something, 100-something yards in a touchdown or two. Like, I would not be surprised if Brian Robinson had a huge game today. All right? Justin Fields on the other end trying to play catch up. Washington putting some pressure on him, forcing him to leave the pocket and run a good bit, get some rushing yards with his feet, give us a solid floor there. Plus him just having to air it out, period. Yeah, a lot's going to be on his shoulders tonight if Chicago's going to keep this close. DJ Moore, you can go him or McLaurin, sure. I prefer to go DJ Moore paired up with Fields because DJ Moore is so obviously the main guy here. Washington has done so well versus tight ends that might limit Fields' other top guy in Komet, which could open things up even more for DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a very interesting option here. Like I said, Washington runs a little more zone than man as well this year, and DJ Moore's done well in zone. So I wouldn't be surprised to see these two connect a lot when trying to catch up and keep this game competitive. So I love that as a core. All right. Value wise, remember we like the punt options of John Bates, Robert Tanyan. Um, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where's my boy I've been talking about? St. Brown at 18. So yeah, there's many options, man. Travis Homer. I mean, he hasn't gotten much run at all, but if it's a blowout and they're playing from way behind, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a good bit of that as well. So thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Good luck on this Thursday showdown. It's always good to start the week with a big showdown W. So let's get to it. If you want to join the squad, greenlightdfs.com. Go ahead and go grab that weekly right now. Week 4 was huge. Let's repeat it week 5, baby. Let's keep this hot streak up. We had an amazing year last year. So far this year's doing the same exact thing. Let's just keep it up, man. Thank y'all for joining me, and I'm out. Peace.